Radio.
Great, guys.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Shit Radio. I'm Brasky. That's Wasted. And tonight on the show, we're going to talk about a subject that's near and dear to me and Wasted's heart. It's called Enshittification. Just the shitting up of everything in our daily lives and how it's Wasted. You have the definition of Enshittification in front of you, don't you?
Yeah, in general, it's the sort of gradual deterioration of a service or a product brought about by a reduction in quality or service provided, especially of an online platform and as a consequence of profit seeking. But I think we can apply it generally across the board to everything in your life at this point. But yeah, it's you could just like I look at it as something like just Netflix. You pay this subscription, and then they basically pull the rug out from you and stop putting anything on there that you want to watch. That's how as a basic example.
Another example can be Microsoft. They came out with what they have Game Pass for the Xbox systems, and it was a pretty good deal. You get all the day one releases, you get a bunch of games, you get free or not free online play, but you get online multiplayer. The price originally, I believe, was about $14 or $15. And then it shot $dollars, which I was like, yeah, that's pretty rich. But recently, as of recording, about 2 days ago, Xbox and Microsoft have announced that for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, you're going to be paying $36 a month.
Yeah, and even in games as well. Like I remember when FIFA was like you bought maybe PlayStation Network or something. Maybe you did pay, but then now you have to pay for the games as well. If you want to actually play online on some games, you have to pay for extra to actually play the game online or buy new content, like new maps and stuff. Everything has add-ons basically. It's like the upsell in the bank. You go in just to ask them a simple question, and they try to like get you to put all your money into stocks and shares. They're always trying to upsell you in it, everywhere you go. Kind of a similar kind of thing.
Let me correct myself here. It's not $36 a month, it's $30 a month. So it comes out to being $360 a year. So let me correct that one more time. It's not $36 a month for Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. It's $30 a month, which is $360 a year that they expect from the consumer now to get day one releases, which guess what? This latest generation of consoles hasn't really had shit for video games that people are going to go, boy, howdy, I really want to play that. Wasted gamer. I'm a gamer. We're old now. But when was the last game that you're like, holy crap, I need to go out and get this day one?
Not for a long, long time have I actually gone out and bought a new game. Because I just I had the PlayStation package where you just, you pay for the yearly amount, and then each month they give you a couple of new games. Not new games, like old games, and they're all the games are about the same anyway. The first-person shooters, they give you one of those, and they give you a platform game and like a kids game or something. So I was always just playing playing old games like BioShock or get the BioShock trilogy for free, basically. Well, not free. You've got to pay for the PlayStation Network. But the last time I played actually a new game, it's like probably like FIFA. One of the FIFAs was the last one I really bought. Maybe GTA, the last GTA.
Yeah, like games I went out and I bought day one was GTA 5 back in the day when it came out on PS4, was Red Dead Redemption 2 when it came out on PS4. On Xbox, there's been no games that I went out day one and bought. My son plays video games, so for his like birthday or Christmas, we usually end up getting him like the new Madden or the new NBA 2K. but those games have gone to shit. I remember when I was a kid, Madden was amazing. They had great franchise modes, they had a better gameplay, and the gameplay in that is so broken right now. It's just so that by the time it gets released, all the reviews on it just say how horrible it is. And they turned NBA 2K into just everything being virtual currency. Where, hey, yeah, you can get that uniform you want, and you can get this player or this legend, but you gotta pay more, and we want more money for DLCs. Where the DLCs should just come with the game. Like, hey, congratulations, you bought the game. We're going to release a DLC to keep our fan base interested in playing the game, and we're going to release it, and you'll enjoy it. Now, not so much. It's pretty much want more money. So video games have become that way. You were mentioning Netflix and streaming. I think it's once a year or twice a year. Every streaming platform now raises the price. I know here in the States, Hulu and Disney just raised their price. I know Netflix has raised their price up a bunch. Peacock, aka The Cock, they've raised their price up. Back in the day, Hulu used to be free, and then they jumped up to $5, which was still a pretty good deal. But now just for Hulu alone, you're paying like $12 a month. For Peacock, you last year you could buy a year of Peacock for $20, a whole year. But now it's up to $11 a month. Netflix, when it first came out, wasted. I don't know if it was the same for you, but here in the States it was like $7, $8. Now it's around $25. Amazon Prime's gone up. Everything that's got a membership keeps going up, and you get less and less benefits from it. The digital
Yeah, I think
world that we live in and the e-shittification of this digital world is pretty much like the WEF says, you don't like it. We're just renters, and the price goes up each month or each year.
yeah, and you basically don't you don't yeah you like you said you don't really own anything, and the prices are like I'm sure that it was like it started at 7.99, and then like you said it went up, but that's just for the basic package. So if you want to get the proper package, you have to go to premium, which is 25. It's like kind of like airline flights where the coach is like inhuman level standards. So you have to upgrade to just get the normal service. You know, if you want to go into business class, that's just a normal service of human standard. But if you just go and coach, you know, if you're flying 7.99, I don't know what you get on Netflix. You probably get nothing.
Well, look at this way. You're talking about flying. Even what used to be, coach seats back in the 2000s, they weren't great, but they at least had some room. Now it's basically like standing up. Business class, which used to be pretty comfortable, is basically what coach was in the 90s or 2000s. And first class, they haven't updated these planes. Majority of planes have not been updated in a long freaking time. I don't know what the benefit you're getting. Another thing that I've been seeing a lot lately, or at least it's popping up on my YouTube feed and on Twitter, is the fact that Las Vegas now, which used to be like one of the bargains, like, hey, if you had a few extra bucks and you wanted to go have yourself a time and go see a show to Las Vegas, get yourself a nice little hotel room for dirt cheap, go hit the buffets up, have just a good experience. But now the hotels are crazy expensive. They charge like $20 for a bottle of water in your minibar. All the restaurants are charging like $50 for chicken fingers. You're paying resort fees, you're paying parking fees. Las Vegas is dying. The tourism in there has dropped like 10 to 20% in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm sure in Vegas didn't. My dream was always that the buffets you could have a free buffet. Does that still exist? You know, you could get like a cheap motel room, and then the buffet would be free.
I don't think so, buddy. I remember they used to have buffets for like $5 or $10. For like $20, you could go eat prime rib and lobster. I think $20 now, you're like, oh, here's some frozen chicken tenders and some frozen pizza that we heated up and put on the buffet line for you. And that's still like $20 to get in and get that.
Yeah, and I think on the budget airlines now, you have to pay for like toilet paper, or if you want a fork instead of a spoon, plastic fork, you have to pay extra. But if you want toilet paper on the plane, you have to pay extra. So you're
Y-
betting you're basically like paying on top, add on even on a flight to go to the toilet.
Now you're older than me, so you may remember this. I never experienced this myself. For me, every time I've flown, which I don't like flying, but every time I've flown, like usually they'll offer you like a can or like a small, like little tiny bag of pretzels or chips. But back in the day, people would be going on there and having like meals. They'd be like, "Would you like chicken or fish tonight or steak?" You watch like old videos on YouTube or old commercials from like the 50s, 60s, and 70s. People are on airplanes smoking cigarettes, eating these big meals. The stewardess is coming by making you real cocktails. Now everything's like, two nips. Yeah, they'll be $30, please.
Yeah, I on the most recent flight I took, they normally like it depends on the flight. When I flew to Egypt from the UK, it's British Airways. So then the guy would just come past and go like, do you want like 2 cans?" He just like give me 2 cans of beer, like 500 milliliter cans, then come back and then just give me 2 more. But on the sort of long distance flight, you used to be able to get like 3 or 4 drinks. I used to order like a glass of wine and a beer with the meal. The last time I tried to do that, she said you can only order 1 drink. I was like, okay, I'll have a whiskey. So there's no free flowing. I remember when it used to just be like people used to stand up mid flights and everybody'd be having drinks. Now everybody's like tied to their seats, and you can only order 1 drink at a time. They don't let you go on like a bender. Like I went on a gin and tonic bender once to New York. I had about 13 gin and tonics on the way on the flight. But now they won't let you.
Well, looking at what like they give you these little cups too. These are like the little tiny plastic cups that they're pouring your drinks into. You're not getting a full size drink.
No, that's what I mean. I didn't. She acted like I was like some kind of alcoholic, like that because I wanted a beer and a glass of wine. She said you can only have one. Jesus Christ.
Well, look at it this way too, wasted. I don't know how it is over Taiwan for you, but here in the United States, you go grocery shopping, not the funnest thing to do, but you go grocery shopping, you pick up your groceries and you go to the for the longest time, ever since I was a child, they always had baggers. You go through there, there'd be a cashier, they'd ring up your items, and the bagger would put your groceries either in paper or plastic bags and load them into your cart. Now you go, everything's self checkout. And then if it's not self checkout and they just have like 2 lanes open with a cashier, it's the cashier putting the items into the bags. There's no bagger for the cashier. And then they'll have like the other section, which is still self checkout. Well, they'll have one employee just watching like 10 machines, and you're responsible for putting all the shit in your bags and putting them in the cart. It's like you're an employee of the store. It's like I'm doing a job while I'm giving you my money to buy groceries from this fucking store, and I'm basically an employee of the store now, and I'm getting no discount for this.
Yeah, here they just put the bag in the basket if you ask for a bag, and then they just swipe everything through and put it into the basket, and then you have to take the basket. You pay and then take the basket over to a table where you have to pack all your stuff into the plastic bag. And then they
And
also
it's
look
still
at you
better.
weird when you want a bag. They look at you like you should have brought your own bag.
Yeah.
You're destroying the
What?
planet.
Yeah. So forget about all the industrial things that China's doing, India's doing. Basically, every first world country is doing. The paper and plastic bags that you get in the grocery store. That's what's really killing the planet. They really treat us like we're the dumbest motherfuckers. They really do.
I
Well, what
mean,
happened?
even the trash, taking the trash out. You used to just take out like a bag of trash and just throw it in the bin. Now it's like a sort of military operation. There's about 13 different types of plastic, and there's different types of cardboard, and there's different types of glass, and there's different types of metal. And you've got to like sort through your garbage and put them all into different bins.
Do you want to know
I
the funny
mean,
thing about that?
that's a full time
I've seen
job.
videos, I've read some things. Hold on, wait. The funny thing about that is, and I'm shocked by it, but it's true, is I saw some videos and I've read some things online, which okay, it's the internet, might not be telling me the truth. But basically they're saying that all the recycling just goes to the same place your garbage goes, and they don't really separate it. They just burn the shit or they just throw it into
Yeah,
compactor. They don't do anything differently with it. You're just being an idiot doing it.
yeah.
And
Some of
also,
the
what counts as
plastics
recycling?
cannot
Like,
be
how
broken
is
down.
yeah, fuck you this wasted. And you garbage that you have, okay? So you got your recycling and then you have your regular garbage. What in your regular garbage really couldn't be recycled? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, why
Uh,
are they separating it? Follow my logic. Like, I get batteries can't be recycled. I get light bulbs can't be recycled. I get like, car parts, anything mechanical can't be recycled. But your majority of your household garbage, what can't be recycled out of that?
um, I I think they want to. They're making you do the sorting job for them. It can be recycled, but they recycle metal and say cardboard separately. So you're separating it for you.
But
But some
they're actually
plastics
not
can't.
doing it.
But some plastics, like you said, they can't actually be recycled, and they just get shipped off to somewhere like in Africa where there's a big dump site. So there's all these boats taking all this plastic that you've sorted.
But who's
Uh,
going through the recycling barrels to make sure that what's supposed to be recycled when garbage truck comes by and the recycling tray is actually the right stuff to be recycled? Like, which person's going through thousands of freaking garbage barrels just to ensure that, oh, look, listen, they threw the wrong plastic in this one. This one belonged in the garbage.
yeah, somebody is doing that to as much as they can, I
No.
think. Anyway, and there's
Oh, I
also
don't.
bones. Like the food is going to the pigs, so you can't put certain bones in the food waste. They've got to be separate. So
Wasted.
you've got to, but yeah,
Use your in a city like New York City.
oh,
Who's actually going through and policing all this garbage and recycling?
well, around here, down at the back of my road, there's a whole road of just like it's like an open, like along the road, there's a depot, and it's mostly metal, but there's like washing machines and there's people there that are going through it, and there's plastic. So all the bags that get dumped there on the side of the road, a person there is sorting through it and throwing it into the right plastic. So they are sorting it, sort of, but
Well,
it's
I
mostly
give
being
you folks
sorted
in
by you.
Taiwan credit. I just don't see that happening in the United States of America, buddy.
On,
I don't see
no,
that
I
happening
mean,
in Chicago or LA or Dallas or New York. I just don't see that happening.
yeah, they're really. It's almost the Green Party here, I think, in power. Uh,
No,
but yeah, in the UK, as an example, that's not happening. That's the comparison I was really making. In the UK, I'm sure you just put everything in one black plastic bag and put it in a wheelie bin, right? And then they come and take it away. But here, that you're splitting it up. So like I said, you have to put on your hazmat suit and go into like the cockroach infested bin section and sort through your trash. So I've got like 5 bins, and you have to put
God
things
bless
in
them.
the right bin. So everybody's doing that, but they're also I use a lot of cardboard because everybody's using takeout boxes for noodles and stuff. You know, a lot of delivery. Like, have you seen how much rubbish comes from a McDonald's order? It's, it's more rubbish than food. You know, there's more nutrition in the cardboard, but there's tons of piles of. I've got so much. My bins are so full of like McDonald's and Burger King delivery stuff. The cardboard
Wasted.
boxes, all the straws.
You brought up McDonald's, and that's one of our favorite topics. It's one of mine and yours favorite places. Me and you both love, buddy. McDonald's is like an ex-wife now to me. Okay, I don't want to look at it. McDonald's. I don't want to go into a McDonald's. I feel betrayed by McDonald's. I truly do. I'm watching television and McDonald's is like, "Hey, great news." I'm like, "All right, what's this? Maybe it's exciting." Great news, folks. Here at McDonald's now you can get a sausage egg McMuffin, a hash brown, and a small coffee, $5. I'm like, "You rat bastard." It's being a kid in the 90s and early 2000s, that was $2. That was $2. A few years ago, it was $3. And now this is your promo. This is what trying to get people in the door is $5. And they're like, Here's even better news. You can get yourself a Big Mac, a medium fry, which we shrunk down, and a medium drink, which hell, that thing's tiny, for $8. It's no longer $12. You can come in and get $8 for this. It's just insanity, the inflation that is going on right now. The Enshittification. I miss the good old days of 99-cent Whoppers, of, the 2 for 5 Big Macs. It's all gone, pal. Everything's gone.
Yeah, like in that abandoned McDonald's from the 90s, on that menu, the board outside, it said like 99 cents as a hamburger, cheeseburger or something, 99 cents.
Yeah,
The
and
only
that
thing that was
when was that place abandoned? Probably not that long
93,
ago.
93 to 97.
Where was
It was
this?
abandoned in 97. Alaska.
Wh
Had,
okay,
had
so that's Alaska. So
Alaska
you're
military.
hold on a second. You're already paying a premium for being in Alaska because I remember as a kid, you know, I think a hamburger was 39 cents and a cheeseburger was like 59 cents at McDonald's in the Northeast between, let's say the New Jersey, New York area and the Boston, New England area. That's what the cost was. Because back in
Yeah,
the day, man, just a few years ago, back in 2015, a McDouble used to be a dollar. They used to have an actual dollar menu where a McDouble was a dollar, a McChicken was a dollar, a small fry was a dollar, an ice cream cone a dollar, a sausage burrito a dollar, a sausage muffin that had a sausage patty, slice of cheese on an English muffin, a dollar. Any size
I think
drink, you can get a large coffee, large soda, a dollar.
you're definitely getting ripped off because McDonald's famously scale the price of their food to the salaries of the population. So in China, a Big Mac is 10 yuan, which is basically a dollar.
Yeah, but the salaries haven't gone up. It's the biggest lie I've ever been told. Like, I think the
No, I
median
mean
income
I'm
right now
saying
in
they dropped
2020. Yeah, no,
they
no,
dropped
no.
the
What I'm
price.
trying to tell you
Yeah.
here in the United States
Oh
is
yeah, yeah.
that in the last 5 years or so, so pre-COVID, after COVID, before COVID, the median income for a family was about 60 grand. Now the for a family is like somewhere in the 70s to 80s, okay? So like high 70s, low 80s. But inflation's eaten every penny of that up because everything's gone up. Your utilities have gone up. Your housing's gone up. Your insurances have gone up. The price you pay for everything, your appliances, your cars, your clothes, you're just doing basic life. I'm not talking living it up. I'm talking basic survival has gone up. And then you have idiots like John Stossel. Like I used to be on Fox News back in the day, and he used to before that was on ABC like 2020 forever back in the 80s and 90s. And he's like, I hear these kids today complaining about how boomers had it so good. Well, if you look at the numbers, that's not true. The average house back in the 1970s was only 1,300 square feet. Now it's 2,200 square feet. Ah. It's like, you fucking boomer asshole.
I'm sure that the American workers haven't had a pay rise since the 70s.
No, since we got off the gold standard.
Yeah, there hasn't been any like pay rise, but everything's been going up. I mean, I remember sort of the prices of like a Kit Kat or something. They used to be sort of like 25p in the UK, and now they're sort of more like 89p. Same with sodas. They used to be 25p, and then now they're like 89p for a can of Coke or something. But they have brought out. I saw they're bringing back Coke's bringing back the Diet Cherry Coke.
Is that gonna save us all wasted from this Enshittification we're going through?
Uh, no, but you might not have to if you drink Diet Cherry Coke. You might not have to take Ozempic.
Which I don't listen, I'm no expert and I could probably use a little Ozempic being a fat bastard. I gotta work on it. I'm getting older. It's something I need to address and handle. So I don't want to sound like a hypocrite here. But I don't think that shit works. I really don't. I think
Uh,
you might get like a short-term fix on it and like for, 3 months to a year, you might see some results, but I think all that weight's just gonna come piling back on and it's gonna screw up your system. Now, I'm not sure about it, but it kinda seems odd out of nowhere. It's like, "Oh, yeah, just take a shot. You'll feel fine. You won't be hungry." For
and
some reason, I
there's
think the
the
side
basic
effects of that's gonna be real. I
the
guess we'll
basic
find
side
out with
effect is
Axel.
yeah, the basic side effect is like diarrhea. So I read some article about they've got this big problem in the Hamptons. Everybody's on Ozempic, and all the toilets are like getting like flooded by diarrhea.
Well, that makes it awkward. Don't they always wear white in the summertime in the Hamptons?
Yeah, but it's just funny. You got all these rich people in the Hamptons, and they're all on that Ozempic, and they're wearing like white linen like tracksuits at brunch, and they're all stained.
Oh, do you know what's even better about that? The fact that, all these people that no, we don't like to be a political show anymore. We just because politics are so dividing. And my opinion, I'm not going to speak for Liars, which if people are wondering where Liars is, he's on assignment. He'll be back. We love Liars. He's just busy right now. There'll be times where I'm busy or Liars is busy or Wasted's busy. Shit happens. We all love each other. He's not going anywhere, but he's not here with us tonight. But we don't like talking politics because we feel that it's just a one party system. That these people like they'll say one thing on TV and oh that person sucks and they're trying to screw, and then the other party will go, no, 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 they're the one screw you over. At the end of the day, they're all just having drinks together, eating dinner, and laughing at us. But the one thing that I do find funny is the fact that Trump's getting, he's got ICE going around, and they're getting rid of all the illegals. So you got to imagine getting rid of all the illegals going through the states now. All the people that used to go clean up the bathrooms in the Hamptons were probably illegal immigrants, which good on them for having a job and doing the work that probably people in the Hamptons don't want to do.
Yeah,
But the fact that all
that
the illegal aliens, there's no one coming in there to clean the toilet after fucking Brittany and Bethany that just had explosive diarrhea shit all over the place. So the next time when Patty and fucking Louise go in there, it's just gonna be covered in shit.
yeah, I mean, he did say that that's what it was, it the H-1B1 visas. He said that almost half of his staff at Mar-a-Lago are on visas.
What a
So
shock.
that's what the funny story is, I don't know if you call this politics, but it's the I didn't even know this was true. The Trump Epstein statue is being returned to the National Mall. There's a sort of gold statue of Trump and Epstein holding hands, and they took it down after the scandal or whatever, and now they put it
What?
back up.
Is that there's wait a
Yeah,
second, there's a statue of
in
them
the
together?
yeah, a gold statue, and it's going to be returned to the National Mall after being taken down. It's in honor
Well,
of
Bill
friendship
Clinton's
month.
personal residency?
Yeah. It's sort of like that. It's kind of like a gotcha moment. Somehow they got this
Yeah.
statue, and Epstein and Trump are like holding hands. So like a gold statue, and they took it down. But it's a friendship month, so the National Mall are putting it back up. We celebrate the long-lasting bond between Trump and Epstein. The plaque reads, and whoa, it's
Oh,
kind of
God.
crazy. And then like Bill Burr flew over to Riyadh for a comedy festival. There's another kind of crazy
Oh, the
hypocritical.
Saudis right now are buying everything up. They basically own WWE now. They're gonna the parent company of the WWE World Wrestling Entertainment and the Ultimate Fighting Championship, the UFC, is a company. They're under the banner TKO, and they're owned by Endeavor. Now, Endeavor though is owned by a parent company called Silver Lake. And guess who's the major shareholder and major investor in that? Can you guess?
Black Rock.
The Saudis.
Black Rock.
So, yeah. So next, not this year, because this year's WrestleMania is going to be held in Las Vegas, but the year after is WrestleMania. So WrestleMania 43, it's going to be held over in Saudi Arabia. So that should be fun and interesting, where they make the women wear freaking basically stunt woman suits, as I call them. They're just all these black long suits that they have to wear instead of their usual wrestling attire. I don't even know like if there's blood allowed in the wrestling matches, but now WrestleMania is going to be a 2-day event over in Saudi Arabia. But as you just said, all these comedians with their such strong moral opinions and they speak out against Donald Trump and everything. Here they are going over to Saudi Arabia to go go speak about free speech and liberty. Fucking Bill Burr. That guy. That guy is one of the biggest fucking phonies. Now, Bill Burr's funny. Back in the day, he had a legendary stand-up set where, he's opening Anthony show all the time, and they had the O&A virus and Bill Burr first Philly audience where he's got like 15 minutes and they start heckling him the whole time. And he just starts counting on the timer of how much time he's got left in his set, and he's just fucking with them, just shitting on Philadelphia. Really funny. And Bill Burr's had some really funny jokes and really funny stand-up moments, but boy, has he just become just a political douchebag. I don't want to know your politics. I really don't if you're a comedian. I don't give a fuck if you're a Democrat or if you're a Republican. Just be folk.
I think he thinks that he's like bringing the world together. Like he's like trying to turn the Saudis into sort of like so they're showing them like Western culture, and you can all like chill out, uh,
So
by
wait a
mending
second. Hey,
ties.
wasted. What was Iran and Beirut like in the 50s, 60s, and 70s?
Kind of like 70s, like mini skirts and weed.
Yeah, they've already had Western culture. They rejected it. They beheaded Western culture. I don't think it's something they're now going to be like, hey, you know what? We want Western culture back because what is Western culture nowadays? Like, do we even have culture anymore in America?
Um, we've got like McDonald and Netflix.
Taylor Swift.
Uh, well, delivery. I think delivery. We lead the way in food delivery around the world.
That's great.
Like staying indoors and ordering McDonald's is like very Western. Uh,
Yeah.
there's not
Just
really
like
much.
Orwell wrote.
Yeah, you're not allowed to go out. Like with music, there's no music scenes anymore, is there? I was thinking about
No,
this. There's no bands because you're not allowed to leave the house. And if you do, you end up in the middle of some kind of weird political protest.
but
You can't just go to the bar and just start playing music. So there's no scenes going on. So you've just got like
they
kind
just
of computerized music.
they just announced who's performing at the Supertime halftime show. And the only reason I know the guy is because he's appeared in wrestling. Some guy named Bad Bunny. And like, I don't even think most of his lyrics are in English. They're in Spanish. He's like a rapper. Which I'm not shitting on
Uh,
the guy. I mean, it's not my type of music, but I mean, who the hell is Bad Bunny and why is he so popular? I don't get it. I'm not that old. Like, I'm not old enough for me not to understand music anymore. But it seems like in the last 20 years, like original music's just like, nah, we're not gonna have any of that. We're just pop divas sound like every other pop diva, and there'll be no more rock bands. And we're gonna take country music. We're gonna turn that into pop music. We're gonna basically have the same guy. We got the Post Malone guy with the stupid face tattoos, and he's gonna sing some songs about harmony, even though he seems like a thug criminal idiot. And then hey, look, we're gonna get Jelly Roll, who's also stupid face tattoos on his fucking face, and he's a former thug criminal too, and these are going to be your new rock singers, and they're going to be like a mixture of rock slash country. What you're all going to listen to, and if you don't like it, tough shit. But hey, Oasis is touring.
yeah, well, at least they're just a rock band. But I mean, they kind of ruined hip hop by making it kind of gay. Like they've sort of
Oh,
like infiltrated it. Like Diddy is like, you know, Diddy is the high profile. You were saying that he's just got sentenced.
yeah, 4 years,
I, yeah, I was like, you got 40 years, just four.
and
Yeah,
I
he
had a
basically got let off.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, and he's got a year that he's already credited, so he's got another 3 years for all the escapades that he did. What he did to poor Carl Winslow from Family Matters.
yeah, I mean, those people just they didn't really try him. Those people didn't turn up in court to testify against him. Um,
No,
they didn't do him for like Ghislaine Maxwell, like sex trafficking, isn't it? That's why she got such a big sentence. But he didn't get done for sex trafficking. He just got, you know, he basically just got done for transportation, which is basically just he calls up a girl and says, I'll pay for your flight to come party with me, you know, come party with us. That's
so
basically
what are they going?
transportation.
Wait, so what are they going to do next? Charge Uber and Greyhound bus with the same crime?
Yeah, everybody's implicated.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't get it.
Holiday Inn.
Yeah, but the e-shitification also applies to music. Like, it's all the
Yeah,
same shit. Look at
yeah.
movies. The e-shitification of movies. How many more fucking Mark Wahlberg action movies do we really need? Even Liam Neeson, who I love Liam Neeson. Just one of my favorite actors from back in the day. But like every year now, it's like he's an old man that they shouldn't have crossed. Liam Neeson
It,
stars in random action movie. He's become like Charles Bronson.
mm. But he also the Marky Mark. The worst thing that he's done recently shows how deep it's all got. Is that he was like on stage giving a talk about how he regrets doing Boogie Nights.
What?
Yeah,
That's his finest film.
I know, but he says it's at the top of his list of regrets in his life because he's now kind of like a Christian or something like that.
So he played a
So
fictional character starring a fictional porno movie.
yeah, but now he regrets it. So that's why he couldn't. He wasn't. That's why he didn't consider doing this new movie, the one battle after another. So, uh,
Which
but yeah,
I mean,
everything's
the one battle after another movie, I really like Leonardo DiCaprio, but the director is just kind of weird to me. Like, I don't really get his films. I never have.
it's he's the same director as Boogie Nights.
Yeah,
So it's
I'm
but
aware.
I never really got Boogie Nights, to be honest. Like I get it, but it's like, is it serious or is it funny? It's kind of heartfelt, but he's also
Oh,
like a kind of preposterous.
oh, I consider it a humor thing. I consider it Burt
Yeah,
Reynolds and
the
what is the
comedy.
guy? William H Macy playing Little Bill. Patrick's what is it? Seymour Hoffman. What the hell was his first name?
Philip Seymour
Philip Seymour
Hoffman.
Hoffman. Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman in the car going, "I'm an idiot. I'm fucking." It's hilarious. And then the Don Cheadle, always worried about what stereo system he's got going. It's a comedy to me. If you take that movie anything else instead of a comedy, you're thinking way too much about movies. But I don't get, what is it? Paul Thomas Anderson? Is that the director's
Yeah,
name?
yeah,
I don't get his movies. I think they're too like indie for me.
yeah. There's definitely that element to it. Like, and he doesn't do. He's not like yeah. He sort of doesn't always do the same thing. Like he did
He,
There Will Be Blood, which is very serious.
to me, he seems like he wants to be like the Coen brothers, but he doesn't have the talent.
Yeah, it's much more open, kind of like you said. It's more like an indie movies. They're a lot more open. You never really know where they're going. They're kind of rambling, um, but that can be kind of relaxing. But, some people like him. I think Quentin Tarantino views him as the his opposite number. Like he's always competing with Thomas Anderson.
Well, that's not a real good competition because I mean, I think there's only one Tarantino movie that I don't like.
Yeah, he doesn't. He almost does the same thing every time. So
Can you
it's
can
like
you
it's
guess the
easy to get in a
Tarantino
groove.
movie that I don't like?
Death Proof.
No, I actually love Death Proof of Kurt Russell. It's really kind of like a 70s like vigilante.
Uh,
What
oh,
I like it.
Jackie Brown.
I hate
You don't like
Jackie
Jackie Brown?
Brown. It is just a fucking boring slug of a movie. It's just it drags. De Niro's annoying in it. Bridget, is it Bridget? Who was it?
Fonda, Bridget
Bridget
Fonda.
Fonda. Yeah, she comes off super annoying. I don't like Jackie Brown. I don't get the movie. I never understood that
I
movie.
think
And
that it's Tarantino didn't write the screenplay, right? It's adapted from the book. That's the only difference I can see in terms of the writing process. It isn't totally like made up from Tarantino's world.
it's funny because the movie that he hates, or actually there's two that he did that he just doesn't like Natural Born Killers, he wrote, but then they changed it. And I'm not a big Natural Born Killers guy, but True Romance, that was a Tarantino screenplay.
Yeah,
And that
Tony
movie's
Scott.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tony
I
Scott is
love
more of
True
a sort
Romance.
of action director, isn't he? Like,
Or
there's
was.
a
Tony Scott passed, correct?
yeah. Didn't he have a? Did he jump off a bridge or did he have a brain hemorrhage? Because he was.
Uh,
Did he
I'm
jump off the
leaning towards
bridge
the
because he
brain.
was? I think he was about to have a brain hemorrhage, and then he jumped off a bridge or something to
It's
save his family the
a
agony or
way to
something.
go. That's a respectable way to go if you gotta go. But you saw one battle after another. What was your opinion of them?
I think it's a really well made like thriller action movie comedy, stoner comedy. But I think the things that people are talking about really are the characters. They think that it's like woke, you know. But I think actually the the main character, Perfidia Beverly Hills, he basically makes fun of all different sides of the political spectrum. That's why I think it's a comedy. So he makes fun of the black revolutionary chick because she turns into a snitch and then runs away from to Mexico, and then
Well, hold on, don't ruin
uh,
it for the people. Come on now.
okay, and then Leo is kind of playing a sort of Gen X, a liberal guy who used to be a sort of cool uh, kind of revolutionary. Thinks he's the revolutionary, ends up just being like a playing like his role in Once Upon a Time in America, where he's just like a stoned kind of slacker on the couch, like Floyd in True Romance. And
Hey,
then
let me stop you
most
for
of
1 second here. You were right. Tony Scott did jump off a bridge. He was battling cancer,
oh
so
really?
I wanted to stop
Yeah.
and just, inform our audience if anyone's even listening, which if you are, thank you, we appreciate it. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. But continue, Wasted, about, Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
Well, just that he's making fun of. Everybody thinks that the only character that they were making fun of is Sean Penn. Sean Penn basically does like a kind of like a parody of a kind of crazy MAGA general, who gets uh, kind of R-worded by the black chick revolutionary, and he plays kind of like a Stormy Norman Schwarzkopf or uh, some general like that. They make fun of him because although he's trying to control the immigration crisis, he's actually loves black women. So he's kind of it's a basic parody. So everybody's kind of like thinks that the movie's woke because it takes this kind of angle on it. But actually, he makes fun of the black revolutionary chick, and he also makes fun of the sort of Gen X liberals who think they can be revolutionaries but end up just being stoners. So that's
Would
the
you
only
get alright. On
difference
the
I
Wasted
saw
score,
in the movie.
Wasted. On the Wasted score, 0 to 10, and be critical. Do not just give this movie good 2 reviews you give me for movies were so high. I wanna make sure you're not just being, very, polite to these films. On a 0 to 10 rating, where are we at?
I would say it's probably an 8 because,
Well,
like I
no.
just yeah, I would say it's an 8. It's because like Sinners is a 9 and Weapons is a 10. I think it's an 8 because
An
it's a little
8?
bit heavy-handed. Yeah, it's 8 out. It's a really well-made movie. If you just watch it and you can like kind of like make fun of yourself or your opinions, and if the sort of political element of it doesn't bother you, which it shouldn't do because it's a comedy. It's very funny. It's really well made. It's a crazy ride basically if you just watch it and don't overreact to it too much. You know,
Alright, well,
but I think
Wasted,
when
that's
the
your well, I'm gonna cut you off because I don't wanna go too deep in this. So that's your review of one battle after another. Wasted, I saw a movie after we did the, Charlie Sheen show, and the I not being as bad as it is, and, considering Charlie Sheen's in it, and I really like Charlie Sheen as an actor, and it's got Clint Eastwood in it, and I love Clint. I mean, Clint Eastwood movies until he got really old. Anything from the, 80s, 90s Clint, except, Bridges of Madison County. I'm not watching that shit. But Clint Eastwood, all-time actor, one of the greatest Hollywood actors there's ever been. But I watched this movie called The Rookie with Charlie Sheen and Clint Eastwood and Raul Julia, the guy who played Gomez Adams from the Adams in the 90s. And Wasted, I gotta tell you, this might be one of the worst films that I've ever seen in my life. It was just a honking pile of shit. Have you seen it?
I think I've definitely seen it, but quite a long time ago. It, as I remember, it doesn't really. It has the form. It's just kind of like a formula movie. It's the rookie and the sort of aging cop
Yeah.
team, and just yeah. I
There's no
think
real
Clint did that movie.
There's no real and I think Clint Eastwood even directed the movie too, which is shocking to me because Clint Eastwood's an excellent director. He's won multiple Oscars, and people won't argue that. I'm telling you, this movie makes no sense. It seems like Clint was either drunk off his ass or, you know, Charlie Sheen must have been, completely drugged out of his ass. Nothing in this movie is practical. Nothing in this movie, and it's so how do I say this? It's so badly put together, you cannot enjoy. The movies that are bad that you can enjoy
Yeah,
for
that's what
how
I
bad they
remember. It
are.
just being very formulaic. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so
What?
unrealistic. Like, I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but the movie begins with Charlie Sheen having a nightmare about, him being, when he was younger. And then it kicks into Clint Eastwood and his partner gonna arrest a bunch of car thieves. And his partner and Clint get into a shootout with these car thieves. They kill Clint's partner. Clint doesn't call for backup. He leaves his partner fucking dead. And then Clint gets into a car and chases these guys up and down the highway. And there's no other cars coming. He didn't call for an ambulance or anything for his dead partner. And he's just chasing them up the fucking highway, hopping on a car carrier, just randomly shooting his gun out of his car. And then it just jumps all over the place. There's nothing in the movie that grows the character. There's nothing that makes it interesting. There's nothing that's practical. There's nothing like, oh wow, this is funny. It's just a shit movie. It's honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Like
Do you,
ever.
from
It's
the book
really
or the
fucking bad.
from the book or in the documentary, it seemed that Clint was part of the intervention on Charlie Sheen, and didn't he do this movie as a way to get Charlie Sheen like sober? He said like, if you go into rehab and come out sober, I'll do a movie with you.
I
And
don't know if
then
that's
so he just
I
did
didn't
it.
see
He
it in
did
the
it as a favor.
documentary. It might have been in the
I'm
book, but I
sure
mean that's a hell of a favor, buddy, because it's bad, man. It's really bad.
because he's like Martin Sheen's friend is Clint Eastwood, and Clint Eastwood's like, I'll help you get him sober. What's that? Every Which Way But Loose. Charlie Sheen should have been in that with Clint Eastwood. That would make
N
sense
no,
if they were
fuck
just
that,
like
dude.
driving around
Clyde
in a
is always
car
gonna be the
doing coke.
no. Listen, Clyde's always gonna be the co-star in those movies. I don't care what anyone says. That orangutan owned those 2 movies.
Yeah, they're pretty good. Uh, not as good as it's this different era, isn't it? Clint's not in Cannonball Run. I'm sure there was a monkey in right. Wasn't Clyde in Cannonball Run?
I'm
I
not
can't
sure,
remember.
dude. That's a little bit
Didn't
before my time.
one of those cars had was it Burt Reynolds? Did he have a monkey in the car with him? I've forgotten.
Well, I don't know if she calling Sally Field a monkey. I mean, she's got a great body on her. Her face is, questionable, but calling her a monkey's maybe a little out of line.
Yeah, I maybe watched Every Which Way But Loose and Cannibal Run in the same day and got them crossed over.
Fucking then you watch Smokey and the Bandit and fucking Dukes Hazzard and
Yeah.
you're all lost.
I think is it Cannibal 1 or 2 where the car goes past like and it goes, what was that? I don't know, but it was going 275 miles an hour.
I have no idea, amigo. Wasted. What have you been
You haven't
listening
seen
to music
Cannonball
wise?
Run?
If I probably have wasted. I'm 10 years younger than you and I haven't seen it in God knows how long.
You have to watch it at least once a year.
Really? Is that a ritual for you?
It was until I lost the DVD copy.
We'll say Enshittification. Back in the day, you could have had a DVD copy or a VHS copy and you've owned the movie forever. Now you got to wait for it to be on streaming.
Yeah, everything. I'm just waiting for them to like I was waiting for them to put like a Robert Redford movie on, and they delivered. They put The Natural on
The
Netflix,
Wonder
but
Boy,
it's
baby.
few and far between.
What's your
Yeah, the
favorite
one
Robert
is it
Redford
one?
movie? Wonder Boy's the bat.
Yeah, yeah, the Bat, and there's all the
He's Roy
President's
Hobbs.
Men, and yeah, yeah, Roy Hobbs. Yeah, and there was a load of like kind of things that looked a lot like the Charlie Sheen's Wild thing. Like they stole like some of the shots because he's always knocking the ball into the. Doesn't Charlie Sheen hit the ball into the scoreboard as well in Wild
No.
thing? No,
You mean in
it
Major
really
League?
had the similar. Yeah, Major League.
No, Charlie Sheen's a pitcher,
Uh,
buddy. Rick
yeah, I'm
Vaughn
sure
pitches.
he like. Yeah, but
No,
it's all the President's Men, uh, and Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and The Natural, uh, and the one Indecent Proposal is probably my favorite Robert Redford movie, even though it's a piece of shit.
I got two. You know what? I got three. I'm lying. I have three Robert Redford movies that I absolutely love. First one, 3 Days of the Condor. One of the best spy films ever made. I love 3 Days of the Condor. It's brilliant. That's one of the ones you actually wonder, like, did somebody from the CIA just go, "Hey, this is what actually goes on," and somebody's like, well, "Fuck, I'm gonna make a movie out of this."
That sounds
So 3 days.
is that a McLean movie? A McLean novel? 3 Days of the Condor. Guns
It
of the
is a novel.
Navarone. Yeah,
It's not Guns of the.
isn't there a writer called McLean? Anyway,
Let me see who the writer of this is. Usually we got lies on. Look it up in the background, kill time, and we'll 3 Days of the Condor. Let's see who it was written by. I believe it was written by a famous writer.
Mr. McLean is what I'm
Oh,
thinking, but
I'm thinking it's that John Le Carre. But let's see. I'm throwing it up right now, and the audience is eagerly anticipating.
you're gonna have to wait. It's like a GNR show.
Yeah. Don't worry, we won't fucking rant about crying about shit that happened 30 years ago.
Everything happened 30 years ago, though. Yeah. 6 Days of the Condor.
No, it's 3 Days of the Condor.
Yeah. AI
It's
overview.
by
Alistair
Diddy.
McLean. Yeah, Alistair McLean did not write 3 Days of the Condor.
It
So
Yes,
AI is
sir.
helping.
Hey, wasted. It was written by James Grady.
Yeah, based on the novel 6 Days of the Condor by James Grady. What happened to the other 3 days?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, okay. It's directed by Sidney Pollack. He's a proper director. I think he just died recently. Remember the Ben Affleck movie, Changing Lanes?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that was Sidney Pollack as well.
Yeah. So Sidney Pollack's a really good director, but yeah. So 3 Days of the Condor is one of my favorite movies. Another one of my favorite Robert Redford movies is Spy Game with him and Brad Pitt. So far, we got 2 spy movies. Actually, we're gonna have 3 spy movies. I just realized that. Seriously. So, Spy Game with him and Brad Pitt is just excellent. It's a retired or a CIA agent whose protege gets arrested by the Chinese. This might not be safe for me to say with you in Taiwan, but he gets arrested by the Chinese and thrown in jail. And Robert Redford's character's got to save him. It's a brilliant movie. I love Spy Game. It's fast paced. It's a really solid flick. I would encourage anyone to watch it. Brad Pitt gives a great performance as one of his earlier performances. In the last movie, and this most people are going to completely disagree with me, but I love this movie. Sneakers. Do you remember
Yeah,
Sneakers?
yeah, I know that I remember it from is it the 90s?
It's the 90s. It's got Dan Aykroyd in it. It's got River Phoenix in it. Robert Redford.
So what's it about? It's not about the actual sneakers, is it? It's not about Nikes or anything or
No, it's
basketball.
not.
What's it about?
No, no, no. It's once again, it's a spy movie.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. My
infiltrating
my three
Nike.
favorite. Yeah, my 3 favorite Robert Redford films are spy movies.
Yeah, I didn't even know he did spy movies. In China, they just say Robert Redford is the most good-looking, handsome man in the world.
Yeah, but Sneakers, let me so it came out in 1992. It has an amazing cast. So let me just kind of give you a little overview. So, I don't know the director. It's some guy named Phil Alden Robinson, don't know him. The cast is Robert Redford, Dan Aykroyd, Ben Kingsley, Mary McDonald, River Phoenix, Sidney Poitier, and David Strathenham or Strathan.
Draven.
It's the dude
Stratharan.
who's it's the guy who's in the Born Identity movies.
Uh,
But I'm telling you, man, it's a really, really good movie. So Sneakers, 3 Days of the Condor, and Spy Game are my 3. Your 3 are The Natural, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and you say All the President's Men.
yeah, they're the kind of just the hack ones you should watch, really. But Indecent
Oh,
Proposal is the one that I like.
I'm sorry.
I
Uh, I must have all the President's Men stuck in my mind. You know what one we're leaving out here? Jeremiah Johnson.
But that's a Robert Redford movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've yeah, well, yeah, I think I've heard of that. I don't think I've
It has
seen
the
it.
famous gif of the nod of approving. He's out there just being a wilderness man fighting bears. Big old beard on him. It's a solid flick, man. It's a really good one. You know what? We didn't even mention The Sting.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
That's
he's
another
he
one.
must
Going
have
in
he
depth on
must have
that one.
done more. Yeah, there's just so many of his movies, but like you sort of forget about them. I don't know why. Like there's so many movies that you would you could like mention, but then like he's didn't he do Great Gatsby
He did indeed.
like back in the day? So it's sort of like, he's done a lot of movies, but they're not the ones that you really remember. They're not like Apocalypse Now or Goodfellas or,
Well, Butch
you
Cassidy
know,
and the Sundance Kid.
yeah,
Everyone's
that's
gonna
the
come
one.
on, man. All the President's Men. 3 Days of the Condor. People are gonna remember those off the tip of their tongue. The Natural. Jeremiah Johnson. Those are some ones that people are just gonna be like, yeah. I mean, you come on, buddy.
Yeah, they're famous. They're the famous ones. But when you go through the rest of his catalog, you're like, you don't, he's done some movies. You're like, why are you making this? Because he did he's the Sundance festival, isn't he? So he's always had this sort of indie element to him. But some of them are just
Yeah,
like,
that's a
you've
problem.
never heard of them before.
Oh
Um,
yeah, he made a bunch of movies when he got older that were just like super low budgeted.
Like wasn't he in a movie with Tony Soprano?
Yes. Oh, what the hell? Hold on, give me a second. I'll figure that one out. Yeah. The Last Castle.
Yeah, and I'm sure he did one with Leonardo DiCaprio or Brad Pitt, like in the '90s.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
just said that.
sort of thing.
Spy Game.
I think he did another
2001. I
one.
told you. Oh, another
River
one?
River River runs through it. Something I wouldn't watch. A lot of the
No,
movies are
that
things
wasn't
that I
him.
wouldn't watch.
So in the 90s he made so let me do it over the 90s. So in 1990 he made Havana, 92 he made Snake Eyes, 93 made Indecent Proposal. Then 96 was Up Close and Personal. Oof.
Oh
Then The
yeah,
Horse
because he's a
Whisperer.
director.
Yeah. I mean, there's the only thing that he appeared in that was kind of like a really big hit, so was in, Captain America's Winter Soldier. Captain America the Winter Soldier, where he played one of the lead roles. Instead of that, man,
Yeah,
he kind of disappeared.
well, he disappeared sort of like Clint, but Clint also does like he was also in movies, wasn't he? But Robert Redford was directing movies, I think, as well. Like he directed some, didn't he direct Ordinary People? And I think he
He
directed River Runs Through It too. But they're not like big blockbuster
oh,
movies. They're sort of more like indie
I'll
style.
shut my mouth. Wasted. Wasted. You're right. He directed The River Runs Through It. He directed Quiz Show. He directed
Oh, Quiz Show is good.
yeah, yeah. He directed The Ledger of Bagger Vance with Matt Damon and freaking Will Smith. That seems like it for his big directorial things. But yeah, he directed Ordinary People, The River Runs Through It, Quiz Show, and Legend of Bagger Vance. Those seem directors.
And did it, so, but he was in Indecent Proposal.
No,
Was that
yeah,
with
he
Demi
was,
Moore?
and Woody Harrelson, of course.
Yeah, that was like if you haven't heard of Robert Redford, who you get that generation was getting reintroduced to him by that movie. He's some like sort of pervert on a yacht or something.
Well, the funny thing is this: for poor Demi Moore, like, who are you going to choose? Woody from Cheers, Woody Harrelson, or Robert Redford, who's still, and at that time a handsome gentleman, for poor Demi Moore to pick from. And why is he having to offer money to, like, do her?
Yeah, doesn't
Doesn't
make
make much sense.
sense.
Yeah,
But like,
none at all.
but that's what these Hollywood movies are like. They just, in the end, they just find somebody who's up for the role, throw them in there, and then it's sort of like, is it Bruce Willis or Ashton Kutcher?
I'm trying to think of, like, Hollywood movies that have really been like game changers in the last decade or so. It's like, wow, this is a new type of film. Like I remember when The Matrix came out, I'm like, this is a completely different film. I like this before.
It was the superhero movies, really.
But they kind of
That's
ruined
kind of took
everything.
over. Yeah, they took over, but that was like the new thing, the new way to spend money on special effects and do action and stuff. So after
The
that, you know, what is there
the
that came out where you were like, this is changing cinema history? Oop,
the
reality TV.
Enshittification of movies.
Yeah, they just get worse and worse and worse until you just basically watch anything. But that's what's good that's happening now. Some of the 90s directors, even though they're not perfect movies, you know, like there's still Tarantino, there's still Paul Thomas Anderson, there's still Soderbergh,
Sure.
still, yeah, Fincher's the one that's sort of carrying the whole thing. um,
Well, I would say Christopher Nolan does a pretty damn good job. I don't give a shit what the Bad Apples Forum say. They have no movie taste. They can kiss my ass. They were there posting
well,
like, oh yeah, they were saying that The Dark Knight sucks. That Inception's a bad movie. I'm like, you people are fucking retarded.
well, he's sort of done everything before. He's done like normal movies, like Insomnia with Robin Williams, uh,
Great
and
movie.
uh, and The Prestige. So he's done and Memento. Didn't he do Memento? That was his like
Yeah.
breakout. So he's done all these kind of normal classics, but then he took on this sort of new dimension to start using effects. I think Inception's pretty decent. Like, I mean, it's a metaphor, visual metaphor for what's going on in the brain, in his mind or whatever. So, but yeah, I think it's a pretty good. There's good parts of that movie, like film noir. Um, Oppenheimer's good. I think Interstellar, I didn't understand it. I'm one of the dumb people that don't understand his movies. Yeah,
No, I mean,
but
I'm with you on
the dark,
Interstellar. There's the other one that he made. I couldn't get Tenet. I can't understand. Like, it makes no sense to me.
yeah, and then but the Batman movies, they're almost like the pinnacle of Batman movies. You
Yeah.
know, in the '80s movies, they're fun. Like Jack Nicholson is fun as the Joker, but they're not really high level filmmaking. Where
No.
I still like, I don't really like Batman Begins, is it? That's just like Bane, like jerking off in a cave for like 2 hours at the beginning. But
No,
I
that's the
still
Dark
think
Knight.
that's a,
No, that's Wasted. That's the Dark Knight Rises. That's the third one where they didn't hit
oh,
the landing. Batman Begins is the
okay.
first one, which is excellent with Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul with Christian Bale. The Dark Knight itself is arguably a perfect film, but then they make the Dark Knight Rises where they just couldn't stick the landing. It's still a good film, but man, did
Yeah,
they just fuck that up.
I think I liked it because it was like action and Bane. Bane was a really good character with loads of quotable lines. Um, but yeah, Batman, I thought Batman Begins was kind of like it's good, but it's a bit slow. But they're still really well made movies. So he's done like a big chunk of. He's almost like the Coppola of the '90s or something. He's willing to be pretentious. He's willing to go really over the top. You know, and
I think
very
that's what you got to
dramatic.
do. You got to take chances, don't you? I mean, in
Yeah,
everything, you got to take chances.
dramatic. Very dramatic
Everything now
music.
just seems everything now feels generic. I saw the trailer for the new Tron movie. It's like, and it's got a soundtrack by Nine Inch Nails. What they fucking do? Like, great. Like, this isn't 1990 anymore.
Yes,
This
it's
isn't the
probably.
early 2000s.
It looks like it's for like a younger audience than it's not really
I
for
don't
the
think,
retro fans.
yeah, but I don't think the younger on about movies, buddy. I think they just care about what they see on YouTube and YouTube Shorts. Like, I truly believe that the generation right after me, because I'm a millennial, so the Zoomers, man, they're just disconnected. Like they don't have an understanding of film. They don't have an understanding of being like, oh wow, it's Saturday night, HBO is going to premiere a new movie. Like they don't understand having to go into a blockbuster to go have to choose movies. Everything to them is just on demand. Everything's at the tip of their fingers. Everything is, oh, I can just go watch it on Netflix channels. They don't like going to the movie theater now is so expensive that it prohibits a lot of people. It's not like back in the day where it's, hey, $5 you can go in for a matinee, and bag of popcorn was still outrageous for $5 back in the day, but that same bag of popcorn now is like $20. I I just think it all comes down to the e-shitification of society.
Yeah, everything's been kind of like what do they call it with the financials? A controlled demolition. It's a controlled demolition of culture. So that basically you just end up on YouTube or on social media, you know. That they don't really go, they go to like flagship movies like what, some sort of superhero movie or something like Venom, you know.
Can you explain me
They
why
might go
people
in,
go to see Avatar? Like, I can't stand Dances with Smurfs. I don't understand how this movie's made billions and billions of dollars. These Avatar
at
movies.
the time, wasn't it it was like this 3D almost real graphics. You wear it was the first 3D glasses movie, the return of it, or something like that. And everybody was putting on their glasses, going to the IMAX. So it was IMAX was a big sort of, but the storyline is just like, not that mind blowing. So it's all about the visuals, as I
Yeah.
remember.
But how many movies of this is like Cameron making? I think we already have like two or three out or
Yeah, they're just like blue fuckers.
it's Dances with Smurfs. South Park called it Dances with Smurfs. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty accurate what it is. I don't know, man. The enjoyment of everything's just gone. We've talked about on the show how late night TV is not the same. That the hosts just aren't funny. They're all political nonsense. I remember someone posting a clip where it was Johnny Carson talking about how he likes, he'll make jokes about politicians, but he doesn't like to talk politics and put his views out there because he's going to disenfranchise, 50% of his viewers and piss them off. It's like, that's not worth it. But like late night TV is not funny. Like Saturday Night Live, unless if it's your Eddie Murphy or Dave Chappelle hosting, is not funny. I mean, the episode they had with what was that guy's name? Shane Gillis? Is
You mean
that right?
tires? Yeah, St.
Yes.
Gillis tires.
Shane Gillis actually hosted Saturday Night
Oh yeah,
Live
St.
last year.
Gillis. Yeah,
It was funny.
yeah,
It was like, oh wow, you guys can still be funny. That's great. Could you try doing this each week? I don't give a shit if you want to make fun of Trump. I don't give a shit if you want to make fun of Biden, but could you try being funny?
yeah. I mean,
Meanwhile, meanwhile,
Saturday Night
people in the
Live.
comment section wasted. People in the comment section listening to this video, who's ever stayed and lasted, are writing the same thing about us. Hey guys, could you try to be funny? You already know the answer to that. No.
We don't try to be funny. It's the first mistake. I
Yeah.
think Jimmy Fallon
Well,
is like the worst one. I don't know. It's just total like, you know, childish. Get like Robert De Niro on and then have him like throw like paper balls into a waste paper basket as a game.
I've never understood Jimmy Fallon. Like even back in the day when like he was on SNL, they're like, "Oh, this guy's the next Sandler." I'm like, "No, he's not." Like Adam Sandler's funny. Adam Sandler's really likable. Jimmy Kim or not Jimmy Kimmel. They're all named Jimmy. Jimmy Fallon is just like that like theater kid that tries way too hard.
Yeah, he was on Saturday Night Live. Then he did like a couple of movies. Then suddenly they turned him into, or maybe the worst one is Seth Meyers. Like he's the most disgusting one.
No, I would say Stephen Colbert because Stephen Colbert at one point hosting late night TV was very funny. Like the Colbert Report, very funny. Like he can be funny, but now he's
Yeah,
just
they got
not.
to him.
Yeah.
They all used to be funny. Like Jay Leno. Yeah, remember when I used to be funny?
Yeah. Well, Leno actually has continued being funny.
Yeah,
But
he
like
is kind of funny. Yeah,
Conan O'Brien was funny, but I just can't remember Seth Meyers ever being funny. Like ever. I can't
no,
remember Jimmy Kimmel. was really funny on the Man Show, but now that he's on ABC, he's just not funny, and he hasn't been funny. I don't understand how these people still have jobs and like why Lauren Michaels is still running Saturday Night Live after 50 years. Shouldn't it be a time for like someone else to come in with a new idea? Like if it fails, it fails. But I mean, what you're doing now is just the same shit over and over again. You're playing for a very
Yeah, that's another thing. That their ratings are really a long way down. Like Joe Rogan has a bigger audience than all of them put together.
But do you
Which
agree
is
that
bizarre.
Rogan's kind of lost his edge in like the last couple of years? He's become more like mainstream than he ever was before.
Yeah, they did sort of come from a little bit, and you know, so he has been, but he does do other things. He was sort of getting known for just being on the edge of that political stuff. But really, he's always just done like comedians and UFC fighters and conspiracies. You know, he isn't really a hardcore like political activist, is he? He
No, I
just
mean, he
sort of
used to be a
represented a
Democrat,
bit of a
which
swing. Yeah.
he used to be a Democrat, which is fine. But like now, it just seems like he has people on that just want to push an agenda. Like he brought on, what was it? Was it Peter Thiel recently? No, it
Ugh.
wasn't. Who was it? Was it Peter Thiel or was it the other guy, Altman?
Probably Sam Altman, the guy from Palantir.
It was one
Is
of
it?
those guys. It was
Not.
one of the tech
Not.
guys, and he just the whole
He had
time.
Elon Musk.
Well, Elon's amusing.
Yeah,
Like,
he's crazy.
yeah, but he's amusing. So one way or another, Elon's entertaining. So that makes a big difference being entertaining than, just being an odd human being. I want to say it was Sam Altman,
Yeah, he definitely Sam Altman been on there. Is
and the guy doesn't even seem human. Now, me saying that, I'm probably going to get some like weird fucking, computer fucking thing coming to kill me with a drone. I don't know. Like, buddy, I'm not trying to insult you. I'm just saying your reaction to itself, it just didn't seem normal. And like, I know Peter Thiel's been on there. It just seems like there's a certain group of people that now go on have both sides, and I'm seeing less and less of the other side. I know we don't really talk politics much, but do you know who's actually, and I honestly think the guy's a scumbag and he's a horrible politician, but he's running a pretty strong campaign right now is Gavin Newsom.
yeah, as in you mean he's almost doing a reverse Trump, isn't
Yes.
he? Wasn't he kind of copying Trump
Yeah.
and just getting in people's faces a bit more?
He's just shit posting as Trump. He just, and what Trump would do, he's just basically lit and just shit posting nonstop, which I don't think it's him. It's probably somebody in his campaign, but it's funny. I mean, it's not going to get him anywhere when they actually look at like his results and what his policies have done. He's not winning shit, which it's not because he's a Democrat, folks, that I don't want him to win. It's because he's just a horrible politician. I wouldn't care if he was a Republican. He's very, very bad. When you take a state that has a big surplus and you make a giant deficit and you don't know where all the money's going, you can't explain it. It's kind of, but
Yeah, he's
his
basically
social media
American
game's
Psycho.
top notch. Yeah,
He's basically
freaking
American
Patrick
Psycho. He
Bateman
looks
over there.
like he's like a sociopath, And who's in he's like who's he married to? He's had some weird like sick goofoil who's now like a right wing pundit.
He was married to Kimberly Guilfoyle
Yeah,
or Guilfoyle.
yeah,
She was hold
and
on, she was
then
engaged. She was engaged to Trump Jr. for like 6 or 7 years, but then they recently separated. I guess, maybe she got too old or whatever.
yeah, that's what I was kind of getting to. It's like they're all kind of in bed together, and all
Oh,
switching
absolutely.
sides.
And you know how they got
Like he'll
divorced?
probably
You want to know how
text
Gavin
message,
Newsom and that Kimberly Guilfoyle got divorced?
yeah,
He
text
cheated on
message
her with
AI,
no, no, no. He cheated on her with his best friend's wife.
Hunter 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 Biden style.
Yeah, and you know what the weird thing right now is? You remember John Fetterman?
Yeah,
He's actually like
just went
speaking the
attacked
most
his.
common sense right now and acting like the most normal out of the politicians here in America. It's like, We got a problem, folks. This guy's acting the most normal.
And he's like, is he a Democrat or is he a
Yeah,
Republican?
Democrat out of Pennsylvania, but he's the one that had like all that brain damage and like was wearing shorts in
Oh yeah,
Congress or wearing shorts into the Senate. But like he's like pretty much being the one that's acting most common sense right now. Like, oh, well, I could agree with some of the things the Republicans are saying, and I still agree with some of the things the Democrats are saying. Is like he's the only one that's like, trying to be like, bipartisan. Everyone else is just like in their camps, just throwing shit at each other.
yeah, that would make sense. Sort of more down the middle, just everybody wearing a tracksuit. No more, no like, no bullshit. And there's Mandani
Oh
in,
yeah, it's mob war like the families.
yeah, everybody seems to be just like they're all crime families.
Yeah, pretty
Uh,
much.
and then there's is it Mandani in New York? Is going to
Oh
bring
yeah.
back like state supermarkets with discounted food.
Okay, so let me get this straight. New York City, okay, which you may disagree, our audience may disagree, but I think most people would is the capital of Earth. Like that's the Big Apple. It's where the world happens. Is New York City? Okay, New York City is now going to elect not a socialist, even though he claimed to be a socialist, but he's really a communist Muslim mayor. The same place that, which is not making light of this. It's a horrible tragedy, but 24 years ago, 9/11 happened where, you know, the story is that Muslim hijackers took planes and they crashed thousands of Americans. 24 years later, you're electing a Muslim communist to be your mayor. I don't think anyone would believe me if I told them that 24 years ago. They'd be like, "Yeah, out of your fucking mind, Brasky. You're lying. You're full of shit."
It's cost. He's just capitalizing on the cost of living, which is what you'd expect to happen all over the place. Like once
Yeah,
people like realize that the problems can't be solved, they're just going to want like a universal basic income, aren't they? There's going
yeah,
to,
but where's that money going to come from? Because,
Zoomers
but
just
wait a
need
second.
credit, internet tokens. They don't need to
The
leave
thing
the
about
house.
what's the thing about this for a second? This guy takes over and he's going to raise up all the taxes and this and that. Then all the rich people are just going to leave.
Yeah, they might just turn it into like a sort of escape from New York type movie. You
Oh
put
shit.
an electric fence around it, then send in some zombies.
There's going to be one person just riding around the streets in New York City judging hairlines.
Riding a motorbike.
A moped.
Snake Miser.
Blaring Rolling Stones. Brian Jones.
It does look like that's going to
Uh,
happen. They're just inner cities are just going to turn into full on riot zones,
Buddy,
non-stop.
I don't know what's
Right.
gonna happen, but it seems like it's getting worse day to day here, man. Every fucking day it seems worse. Like you put on the news and like the whole me and you've talked off show a lot about this, but like the whole Russian and Ukraine war thing spiraling out of control where sooner rather than later World War III looks like it's gonna break out. And that it's not good. None of us are gonna survive it. Listen, if the nukes start flying, I don't give a shit what kind of bomb shelter you got or what go bag you got or what plan you got. You're not gonna last. Like, "Oh, I got a
Yeah.
bomb shelter. Great. How much food you got in there?" "Oh, I can live for 5 years." "Great. Nuclear fallout lasts for thousands of years. What are you gonna do after 5 years? You're gonna open the door after eating fucking canned food for 5 years and be like, maybe I should just went to the blast zone."
Yeah. Well, it definitely it just pushes inflation up. All these wars putting the price of fuel up. So inflation's not coming down. So
How
you
bad
know,
is it there? Because like, inflation just keeps climbing and climbing here, and I thought it was over, like, I'm like, "Alright, well, inflation should finally stop, like, it should get back down to normal." It just the prices are just it's an arm and a leg for anything now.
yeah, it's here, just every week, everything seems to go up like 50. I would say it's 50 cents. Things that were 100 Taiwan dollars are now sort of more like 200 Taiwan dollars. Like peanut butter is like $10. And lots of products are just, they haven't bothered to, because they're too expensive to import. They've just stopped importing them. So there's not very much choice left. All the choice is going down. So you're left with just eating kind of like rice. Like the only thing that is really affordable is like rice, cucumbers, carrots, some weird like mushrooms, and chicken, and pork. Everything
Wait,
else, like
wasted.
beef, is
You're gonna be looking
imported
great.
from New Zealand. Yeah,
Wasted. You're gonna be looking great soon.
but I just drink cherry cola and beer.
Well, what happens when the beer stops? I mean, that's the question for
Yeah,
you.
they've still got the Taiwan Classic beer is still pretty cheap. It's like 44. So it's basically less than you can get 3 cans. But we've got a trade deal with Lithuania for some reason. So the Polish and Lithuanian beer is imported, and that's cheap. That's like $2.50 for 3 cans. But it tastes, I think, because it's been stored in some kind of really hot storage unit that's traveled across the world. By the time it gets here, it tastes kind of weird, like it's been off or something. Don't really trust it. And there's the Russian vodka or French Russian vodka. Vodka's cheap. Russian vodka's cheap. But
Well, that's
food
good,
wise,
buddy.
it's if you're importing all your beef from New Zealand, it's a bit expensive. For anything other than, it's like I went from eating ribeyes for like 20 years to now I just have a rump steak. A ribeye is like $20 or something.
Well, with the food that they're going to be eating soon, Wasted, you're definitely going to be getting back into shape of all those nice vegetables. Wasted, we've talked about the Enshittification. Is there anything else you wanted to touch on tonight? Do we want to touch on some of the comments? I know you kind of seems on your Robin Finck super show, as you're telling me that you're collecting all this information
Yeah.
and preparing us.
Well, I think we need to do like a deep dive on Robin Finck and like just do a whole show about the history of Robin Finck and also kind of start to document like which Guns N' Roses songs he actually wrote, and is it more than Tobias? But yeah, there's he went from 9 Inch Nails to Guns N' Roses, then back to 9 Inch Nails, didn't he?
He
So
sure
there's
did.
lots of different eras. There's lots of different eras that we can like cover. So maybe for the anniversary of Chinese democracy in 2028, so 2 years late, make that 2030. Probably
Okay.
do a Robin Finck mega show.
All right. So, how much time should I clear on my calendar? Is a day thing we're thinking?
Sort of, it looks like this, like a 3-hour show. There's at
No, at
least 3
least.
different eras.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna get that done. Well, Wasted, I really appreciate you doing the show tonight. Yeah. You're my you and another guy on my favorite co-host. You and that Liars character. But Liars, we'll be back the next time you probably hear a show. We'll be with Liars and me and Wasted. We might have some future. But remember to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. You can find us on Rumble. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on all your favorite podcasting apps. And remember, folks, on that note, boy.
We got the sector, you call it. She radio never die. She